Doctor's warning: why walking too much after 70 can accelerate aging, what to do instead. We've all been told that walking is one of the simplest and most effective ways to stay healthy as we get older. In fact, walking is often considered the gold standard for seniors. It's low impact, easy to do, and recommended by doctors all over the world. But what if I told you that walking too much after 70 could actually be doing more harm than good? It sounds strange, doesn't it? After all, walking is supposed to keep us fit, right? Well, here's the truth. As we age, our bodies change in ways we might not even notice. While walking can be beneficial, overdoing it after a certain age can have unintended consequences. The very act that we think is helping us stay healthy might be putting unnecessary strain on our joints, muscles, and bones, leading to accelerated aging rather than slowing it down. Let me put this into perspective. As we age, our bodies become more fragile. Our muscles weaken, our bones become more brittle, and our joints lose flexibility. This means that when we overexert ourselves, especially by walking for long periods of time or on hard surfaces, we start to feel the negative effects. Joint pain, stiffness, and swelling become more frequent, and recovery takes much longer. The strain we put on our bodies can start a chain reaction, where what was once a simple walk in the park can now become a source of discomfort that lingers for days. You see, walking is not a one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to aging. And while it's important to stay active, there's a fine line between beneficial activity and overexertion. Too much walking can lead to repetitive stress on our body's systems, especially the joints that bear the brunt of every step we take. We might not feel the damage immediately, but over time, it can add up, leading to inflammation, joint deterioration, and even chronic pain. This is why, after 70, it's important to rethink how we approach movement. We need to ask ourselves, are we walking in a way that truly supports our health, or are we just following the advice we've always been given without understanding the unique needs of our aging bodies? It's not about abandoning walking altogether, far from it. It's about striking a balance and understanding what our bodies are telling us. Now, I know that many of you might be thinking, but I've always been active and walking has always been good for me. That's absolutely true. Walking has countless benefits, and it's still one of the best forms of exercise for people of all ages. But the reality is, as we age, we need to listen to our bodies more carefully. We need to adjust our routines and our expectations so that we don't push ourselves beyond our limits. What worked for us at 40 or 50 might not work the same way at 70, and that's okay. In this video, I'll be sharing with you why walking too much can accelerate the aging process and what you can do instead to stay active, healthy, and vibrant as you grow older. I'll guide you through some key insights that will help you understand how to move in a way that supports your body, rather than breaking it down. This isn't about telling you to stop walking. It's about giving you the tools to walk wisely and age gracefully. So if you're ready to learn how to take control of your health, reduce unnecessary strain on your joints, and start moving in a way that actually promotes longevity, keep watching. I promise you, it'll be worth it. Part 1. The Truth About Aging. A deeper look at the body. After 70. As we age, our bodies go through a number of changes, many of which are subtle and occur gradually. We may not always notice the shifts, but over time they begin to affect how we move, how we feel, and even how we look. These changes are a natural part of life, but they're not always something we're prepared for. After 70, our bones, muscles, tendons, and joints have already been through decades of wear and tear. And while we may have spent years staying active and moving with ease, suddenly the body begins to show signs of wear in a way that can't be ignored. One of the first things that starts to decline is bone density. As we age, our bones become less dense and more brittle, making them more susceptible to fractures and breaks. This is especially true for the spine, hips, and wrists. With lower bone density, the pressure of walking for extended periods of time can begin to take a toll on these vulnerable areas. But it's not just bones that suffer. Our muscles and tendons also lose elasticity and strength. The ability to absorb shock during movement diminishes, meaning every step puts more strain on the body than it did when we were younger. This is where the danger of walking too much comes in. When we walk for long durations without considering the wear and tear on our muscles and bones, we're pushing our bodies beyond their capacity to handle the stress. The joints, which should act as shock absorbers, start to lose their ability to do so effectively. And instead of reaping the benefits of walking, we might begin to feel discomfort, pain, and fatigue that we didn't expect. The very act of walking that we thought was doing us good can, in fact, lead to injury or hasten the breakdown of our joints. The cartilage in our joints also becomes thinner with age. Cartilage is the cushion between our bones, preventing them from rubbing against each other. Without this cushioning, the bones start to grind together, causing inflammation, pain, and stiffness. As we age, this cartilage doesn't regenerate as quickly, and excessive walking can contribute to its gradual deterioration. The knee joints, in particular, are some of the first to show the signs of wear, especially if we're walking for long periods on hard surfaces or in improper shoes. The more pressure we put on them, the faster they wear down. Furthermore, the reduced flexibility in our muscles and joints as we age means that the recovery time after exercise is longer. What used to be a simple walk that we could bounce back from in an hour may now leave us feeling sore for days. This is not only frustrating, but it's also a sign that we may be overexerting ourselves. So while walking is important, it's crucial to listen to the body's signals and understand that what was once easy may need to be adjusted as we get older. Part 2. The myth of more is better in fitness. After 70, you've probably heard it 1,000 times. If you want to stay healthy, keep moving, exercise more, walk more, and you'll stay young. It's one of those well-meaning pieces of advice that's become ingrained in our culture. But here's the thing, more isn't always better, especially when it comes to aging bodies. In fact, the idea that we need to keep pushing ourselves to exercise harder or walk longer can be a dangerous mindset as we grow older. At a certain point in life, the more is better philosophy no longer applies. You might feel motivated to walk every day, thinking that the more you walk, the better your health will be. But that's not necessarily the case, especially after 70. Overexercising or walking too much can actually lead to physical deterioration rather than physical improvement. It's about finding the right balance. The problem with pushing ourselves too hard is that, unlike when we were younger, our bodies now need more time to recover between bouts of activity. Our muscles don't repair as quickly, and our bones don't regenerate at the same rate. So, while walking is a low-impact activity, too much of it without adequate rest can still result in strain, injury, and faster aging of our joints and bones. Overdoing it puts extra stress on the cardiovascular system as well. As we get older, the heart becomes less efficient at pumping blood, and walking too much can lead to unnecessary fatigue and an increased risk of heart strain. What's worse is that many of us don't recognize when we're pushing ourselves too hard. The body is incredibly resilient, and it often won't cry out for help until it's already too late. You might feel tired or even slightly sore after walking long distances, but you might brush it off as normal. The truth is, consistent overexertion, even if it doesn't lead to immediate injury, can gradually wear down the body. It's this gradual breakdown that often leads to long-term issues such as chronic pain, joint inflammation, and a reduction in overall mobility. This is why it's so important to reconsider the approach to exercise as we age. Instead of focusing on pushing ourselves to walk longer and harder, we should prioritize quality over quantity. Walking in moderation, taking frequent breaks, choosing the right terrain, and being mindful of our body's signals can be far more effective in the long run. You might be surprised to find that shorter, more intentional walks can have just as much benefit as longer, more intense sessions. By respecting your body's limits and understanding when to stop, you'll actually help preserve your mobility, energy, and health in a way that promotes longevity. So while it's crucial to stay active as we age, it's equally important to remember that too much of anything, even something as simple as walking, can do more harm than good. The key to aging well is not about doing more, but about doing what's right for your body at every stage of life. Part 3. The myth of more is better in fitness after 70. If you've spent years walking as part of your fitness routine, it's easy to fall into the mindset that more is always better. The belief that exercising longer, harder, or more frequently will lead to better health is so deeply ingrained in us that it can be hard to question. But as we grow older, it's essential to realize that our bodies have different needs, and more isn't always the solution. When we're younger, we tend to bounce back quickly from physical exertion. We can walk for hours, run for miles, and still feel energized afterward. But after 70, the reality is different. The ability of our bodies to repair themselves slows down, and what might have been manageable at 50 or 60 may no longer be suitable as we reach our golden years. Our joints, muscles, and bones simply don't recover the way they used to. This is not to say that walking and exercise aren't still important. It's just that we need to change our approach. Instead of trying to push through longer walking sessions or doing more, we should focus on sustainable, moderate activity that our bodies can handle without causing unnecessary strain. It's about making exercise work for us, not against us, and often less is more. Think of your body like a well-tuned car. You wouldn't keep driving it at full speed all the time, especially when the engine's age starts to show. Sometimes you need to slow down and let it cool off, allowing it to function at its best. The same principle applies to exercise. It's about knowing your limits, listening to your body, and understanding that sometimes taking it easy will actually help you live longer and more healthily than pushing for more. Unfortunately, many seniors push themselves too hard, motivated by the belief that, if a little is good, more must be better. They walk, they stretch, they run without taking enough breaks or adjusting their routines for the changes their bodies are experiencing. The result: overuse injuries, chronic pain, and accelerated joint deterioration. This isn't about being lazy or avoiding exercise. It's about exercising wisely. As you age, there's a shift in how your body responds to activity. That's why, instead of walking 5 miles every day or trying to match the pace you once had, consider shortening your walks and adding more variety. Taking regular breaks, stretching more, and integrating low-impact activities can not only help prevent injury, but can also be more effective for long-term health. The goal is to find the balance that will keep you moving without pushing you past your limits. Part 4. Recognizing the signs when walking too much starts to harm you. For many of us, walking is second nature. It's easy, it's natural, and it feels good at the moment. But the problem arises when we don't take the time to truly listen to what our bodies are telling us. As we get older, it's essential to be more attuned to the subtle signs that indicate we're doing too much. What might seem like harmless walking could, in fact, be the beginning of a pattern of overexertion that leads to long-term damage. It's important to note that the effects of walking too much may not always be immediately noticeable. Unlike a sudden fall or an obvious injury, the consequences of overexertion can build up slowly over time. This is why so many seniors continue to walk for long periods, unaware that they're actually doing more harm than good. If you're feeling sore, tired, or stiff the day after a long walk, it might not be just a sign of normal exercise recovery. It could be an indication that your body is struggling to keep up. One of the first signs that you're overdoing it is joint pain. The knees, hips, and lower back are often the first to feel the strain. If you notice that after a walk your knees feel stiff or you have difficulty bending or straightening them, it could be an indication that the cartilage in your joints is wearing down faster than it should be. Over time, this wear and tear can lead to conditions like osteoarthritis, a painful and debilitating disease that results from the breakdown of joint cartilage. Another subtle sign is chronic fatigue. While it's normal to feel tired after a walk, persistent fatigue or feeling drained long after you've finished walking is a red flag. This could mean that your body isn't getting enough rest and recovery between sessions and you're pushing yourself too hard without realizing it. At this stage, it's important to reconsider your walking routine and adjust it to something that doesn't leave you feeling completely exhausted. Swelling in the joints is another sign that walking might be doing more harm than good. If you notice that your ankles, knees, or hips swell up after walking, it's a signal that there's too much stress on the joint, leading to inflammation. This is often accompanied by pain, discomfort, and a feeling of stiffness that can linger for hours or even days. If swelling becomes a recurring issue, it's crucial to reassess your exercise habits and focus on gentler, less taxing activities. Equally important is listening to the emotional and mental signs that walking too much can affect. If you find yourself feeling irritable, depressed, or simply not enjoying your walks anymore, it may not just be physical exhaustion at play. Chronic physical discomfort or the fear of pain can take a toll on your mental health. What once felt like a pleasant form of exercise can start to feel like a burden, leading to a decline in your overall mood and well-being. This is why it's so important to be proactive about recognizing these signs before they turn into chronic problems. Your body is constantly sending you messages about what it needs, and paying attention to those messages can be the difference between maintaining a healthy lifestyle and damaging your body in the long run. If you're experiencing any of these signs, whether it's joint pain, swelling, fatigue, or emotional changes, it's time to take a step back and reassess your routine. When we're younger, we can often push through discomfort, but after 70, our bodies don't have the same capacity to recover. The earlier we can recognize these warning signs, the easier it will be to adjust our habits and prevent long-term damage. This isn't about being overly cautious or giving up on walking. It's about being smart and adjusting to the realities of aging. After all, the goal is to stay healthy, not to push through pain. Part 5. What you should do. Instead, active alternatives for older adults. If walking for long stretches is causing you discomfort, it's time to reconsider your exercise routine. But that doesn't mean you have to stop moving altogether. The good news is that there are plenty of alternatives that can still keep you active, strong, and mobile without putting undue stress on your joints. The key is to focus on exercises that are gentle, low impact, and provide a well-rounded workout for your body. One of the best alternatives to long walks is moderate walking. You might be wondering, isn't walking already moderate? And that's a fair question. The truth is, walking doesn't have to be long to be effective. Shorter, more frequent walks are often better for your joints, as they give you the opportunity to take breaks and move at a slower pace. Instead of trying to walk for miles every day, aim for 3 to 5 shorter walks, each lasting about 10 to 15 minutes. This will give your body time to recover between sessions while still keeping you active. If you're looking for even less impact, swimming or water aerobics can be a fantastic alternative. The buoyancy of water supports your body and reduces strain on your joints, making it a low-impact way to get your heart rate up. Swimming also provides a full-body workout, engaging muscles that are often neglected during walking. Plus, it's a great way to improve flexibility and range of motion while minimizing the risk of injury. Even just a few laps in a pool a few times a week can provide tremendous benefits for your cardiovascular health, muscle strength, and overall well-being. Cycling is another low-impact exercise that can provide great benefits, especially for older adults. Whether it's on a stationary bike or a regular bike, cycling gives you a great cardiovascular workout without the joint strain that comes from walking. It's an excellent way to strengthen your leg muscles and improve endurance. If you're new to cycling or it's been a while, start slow and work your way up to longer sessions, but remember to listen to your body. It's always better to build up gradually than to overdo it too soon. Yoga is a gentle yet effective way to stay active, improve flexibility, and enhance balance. As we age, our flexibility naturally decreases, and balance becomes more important for fall prevention. Yoga can help you regain flexibility, improve posture, and strengthen your muscles without the harsh impact of walking. There are many types of yoga, including restorative yoga, which is especially designed for older adults. These classes often involve slow, deliberate movements and deep stretching, which can be incredibly beneficial for aging bodies. Even if you've never practiced yoga before, you can start with beginner classes and gradually build your practice. Another great option is Pilates. Similar to yoga, Pilates focuses on improving flexibility, strength, and balance. However, it also places a strong emphasis on core strength, which is crucial as we age. A strong core helps maintain posture, supports the back, and makes daily activities like bending or picking up objects easier. Pilates is often recommended for older adults because of its low-impact nature and ability to improve overall stability without straining the joints. In addition to these activities, strength training is vital for maintaining muscle mass and bone density as we age. If you're worried about weightlifting being too intense, don't be. Strength training doesn't require heavy weights or complicated routines. Simple exercises using resistance bands or light dumbbells can help maintain muscle strength without the risk of injury. Try to include 2 to 3 strength training sessions per week, focusing on different muscle groups each time. Building muscle helps support your joints, reduces the risk of falls, and improves your overall stamina. Lastly, balance exercises are essential for preventing falls, which become more of a concern as we age. Activities like Tai Chi are gentle and meditative, improving not only balance but also mental clarity. These exercises focus on slow, controlled movements and can be done at your own pace. Even something as simple as standing on one leg for a few seconds at a time can help improve your balance and reduce the likelihood of falls. By incorporating these low-impact activities into your routine, you can stay active, strong, and healthy without the risk of accelerating aging through excessive walking. The goal is to choose activities that support your body's unique needs as you age, allowing you to maintain mobility, flexibility, and strength while minimizing the stress on your joints. Don't think of these alternatives as replacements for walking. Rather, think of them as complementary exercises that work together to enhance your overall health. With the right balance of movement, you'll be able to stay fit without overexerting yourself. Part 6. The healing power of rest. Why recovery is key after 70. It might seem counterintuitive, but one of the most important components of staying healthy and active as you age is giving your body time to rest and recover. After years of being told that more exercise is the key to staying young, it can be difficult to embrace the idea that rest is just as crucial to health. However, as we age, our bodies need more time to recover from physical exertion. In fact, recovery is where the true healing happens. As we age, the processes that help us repair muscle tissue, replenish energy stores, and regenerate cells become slower. Our muscles no longer bounce back as quickly after exercise, and our joints need more time to recover from the strain of physical activity. Rest is essential not only for recovery, but also for preventing injury and managing inflammation. It's during rest that your muscles rebuild, your joints have time to heal, and your body replenishes its energy stores. Without proper rest, you're simply setting yourself up for burnout and injury. The amount of rest needed varies depending on the intensity of your activity. After a gentle walk or a light cycling session, you may only need a few hours of rest. However, after more strenuous exercises such as strength training or swimming, your body may require a full day of recovery. It's crucial to listen to your body and give it the time it needs to heal. Even if you feel fine right after a workout, that doesn't mean you're immune to delayed soreness or injury. Over time, constant overexertion can lead to chronic pain, inflammation, and even more serious conditions like tendinitis or bursitis. Sleep also plays a vital role in the recovery process. It's during deep sleep that your body regenerates and repairs itself. If you're not getting enough restful sleep, your body doesn't have the opportunity to fully recover. This is particularly important as we age, as many older adults struggle with sleep quality. To ensure that your body is healing properly, prioritize getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. If necessary, consider sleep aids like relaxation techniques or a consistent bedtime routine to improve the quality of your rest. Rest isn't just about physical recovery, it's also about mental restoration. Our minds need rest just as much as our bodies do. Chronic physical activity without sufficient mental rest can lead to stress, fatigue, and burnout. Meditation, mindfulness, and deep breathing exercises can help ease mental tension and promote a sense of relaxation. By combining physical rest with mental relaxation, you're giving your entire system the opportunity to heal and rejuvenate. In addition to passive rest, active recovery can be incredibly beneficial for seniors. Gentle stretching, walking at a slow pace, or engaging in restorative yoga can help keep your body limber without putting too much strain on it. These activities promote circulation, flexibility, and muscle relaxation, while still allowing the body to heal. So the next time you finish a walk or any other form of exercise, remember that rest is an essential part of the process. Don't feel guilty for taking it easy. Your body needs time to recover so that it can stay strong, healthy, and capable of doing the things you love. Part 7. Wisdom from the elderly. Lessons learned from years of experience. As we age, one of the greatest gifts we have is the wisdom that comes from living through years of experiences. The elderly, those who have lived long and full lives, often carry with them valuable lessons about balance, resilience, and self-care. In our quest to remain youthful, it can be easy to forget that some of the most important lessons about aging come from those who have already walked the path. In my own life, I've encountered countless seniors who have seen it all, the highs and the lows, the triumphs and the setbacks. And what I've noticed is that the most vibrant and resilient individuals aren't necessarily the ones who kept pushing themselves to walk farther or run faster. Instead, they are the ones who have learned to listen to their bodies, honor their limits, and rest when needed. They understand that the secret to longevity is not found in constant overexertion, but in self-awareness and care. Take, for example, the elderly individuals who have managed to maintain mobility into their 80s and 90s. They're not the ones who walked 5 miles a day without thinking about it. Instead, they're the ones who found a rhythm that worked for their body. They might have walked for shorter durations, but mixed in gentle activities like stretching, yoga, and swimming, which kept them flexible and strong without risking injury. Their focus wasn't on doing more, but on doing what worked for their individual needs and adjusting as their bodies changed over time. When you hear their stories, a common thread emerges. They've accepted the aging process with grace, and they've adapted. They didn't force their bodies to keep up with outdated ideas about fitness. Instead, they embraced the wisdom of moderation. They understood that in their later years, quality of movement is far more important than quantity. This is a lesson we can all benefit from. It's not about how much you do, it's about how well you do it. The elderly often speak of the importance of patience. They've learned that aging isn't a race, but a journey. And on this journey, the path to health and vitality isn't about being in a constant sprint. It's about pacing yourself and knowing when to rest. They remind us that while it's important to stay active, it's equally important to honor our bodies, listen to our aches and pains, and not push ourselves beyond our limits. I once spoke to a woman in her late 80s who had been a fitness enthusiast for decades. She told me that she now spends more time on restorative activities like stretching and Tai Chi than on walking. "I had to learn the hard way," she said. "I spent years pushing myself to walk longer distances, thinking that it was keeping me young. But what I didn't realize is that I was wearing out my joints and muscles without giving them time to recover. Now, I focus on gentle movements, and it's made all the difference." These words carry the wisdom of a life well lived. And they remind us that taking care of ourselves in later years requires adjusting our approach to movement, being more in tune with our bodies, and allowing ourselves to rest without guilt. We don't have to stop being active, but we do need to be smart about how we move. As we embrace this wisdom, we can also share it with the younger generations around us. Too often, we see our children and grandchildren pushing themselves to the limits, thinking that doing more is the key to staying healthy. But what if we, as seniors, could help them understand the importance of balance, rest, and mindful movement? By living our lives with this wisdom and sharing it, we can help younger generations avoid the same mistakes and lead healthier, more balanced lives. Conclusion: age gracefully, not quickly. As we reach our 70s and beyond, it's important to acknowledge the remarkable capabilities of the human body. We've lived long enough to witness the changes that come with aging, and while they may sometimes feel daunting, they don't have to define us. The truth is, we have the power to age gracefully, not quickly. It's not about avoiding movement altogether or succumbing to a sedentary life. Instead, it's about understanding our body's evolving needs and making choices that support longevity, vitality, and well-being. Walking is still one of the best exercises we can do, but it's essential to remember that moderation is key. Walking too much can accelerate the wear and tear on our joints and muscles, causing more harm than good. That's why it's crucial to be mindful of the signs your body is giving you. If you're feeling pain, fatigue, or discomfort, it's time to listen and adjust. Choose shorter, more frequent walks, incorporate low-impact alternatives like swimming and cycling, and embrace activities that build strength, flexibility, and balance. And above all, don't forget the importance of rest. Rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Your body needs time to recover, regenerate, and heal. Without adequate rest, all the walking or exercise in the world will not prevent the aging process from catching up to you. So take time to relax, sleep well, and let your body recharge. The wisdom that comes with age teaches us that health is not about pushing ourselves to the limit, but about embracing balance. It's about listening to your body, knowing when to push and when to rest, and finding a routine that works for your unique needs. We don't need to chase after the idea of eternal youth, but rather, we should embrace the aging process with respect and care, understanding that a mindful approach to fitness can help us live longer, happier, and healthier lives. As we age, let us remember that it's not the quantity of steps we take that matters. It's the quality of movement and the wisdom with which we move through life. So walk, stretch, breathe, rest, and most importantly, listen to the body that has carried you this far. You've earned the right to age on your own terms, gracefully and with vitality.